Hello everyone. In this video we're going to learn how to use the Arnold sky shader. And so far we've used the physical sky shader and we were able to provide a reflection and refraction rays by connecting the physical sky to the render settings slot. So we've connected it here and we were able to get reflection and refraction rays provided for the shaders to use. And let's say we wanted to use texture instead. So if I switch this back to texture and choose a texture, when I hit a render, let me remove this and let's hit a render, we're going to see the reflection of the direct specular and indirect specular picking up the sky dome. We're going to see diffuse, but we're not going to get any reflection and refraction. So we need a way to provide camera rays. We want to see this HDR in the background, and we want to have reflection and refraction rays provided for the shader to use. And what we need to do is we need to create our own custom shader. And for that, I'm going to switch to shader here, and we don't need this anymore. And we're going to create a new one. So I'm going to hit the tab key and go under Arnold and create an Arnold shader network. And to clarify, the Arnold physical sky is exactly this node here. And if we dive inside the Arnold physical sky, you can see there is the actual shader, and then it has these two outputs. So we need to provide this for the in our custom shader. And I'm going to go back and let's call this environment with texture. And I'm going to dive inside. And right now it's empty. There is the out material, which we don't need. We only need the out environment. So if I hit tab and go under output, you can see these are all the available outputs. We need the light output and we need the environment output. And what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new node called Sky. And this node allows you to read in an HDR image and map it properly so that it's angular or mirrorable or lat long. And for this node, we need to connect the actual environment map that we want to use. So I'm going to create an image and connect the output, and we want to select our texture. And I'm going to connect the output into the background, and this is what the render settings environment slot will use. And for the outlight, we want to connect the color. And now if I go back to the object level and select the sky dome, actually let me rename this, we can assign the color shader that we created, and we've called it environment with texture. So now if I hit render, we should see the HDR. We should see exactly the same result as if we connected the as if we plugged the texture directly here, and we're getting exactly the same result. And if we go to the out context and select the Arnold render node, and select the same shader, the environment with texture, we should see the reflection and refraction rays being provided. Cool. So we have everything working using an HDR. Now, if you notice, there was a brightness difference in terms of diffuse. The diffuse has gotten brighter, and the reason for that is this sky node here can also provide diffuse and glossy rays and shadow rays, and we don't want that because we only want the sky dome to be providing that information. We don't want the shader to do that. And all we have to do is, under the environment, we have to uncheck diffuse, glossy, and shadows. And now if I hit render, we're only getting the shadow, diffuse, and glossy from the sky dome, and we're getting the rest of the rays from the environment light. And this should work perfectly in any scenarios that we need. And that's pretty much it. This is how you use a custom texture and be able to provide a reflection and refraction rays for Arnold to use and at the same time use it with Skydome for the main illumination. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.